First came across this a couple of months ago at Machina Bristronica when Stylophone had it on their stand, and I have to say I was a bit skeptical about a drone machine. Probably a bit like a lot of you watching this. What's the point? What practical things can you do with it? And then I had a play with it, and now I own one. They were released a week or so ago, so you can get one now at stylophone.com. I've been having a little play with this for a couple of days, and I released a little Instagram demo where I described it as being a little box of mindfulness, and I really meant it. If you're not looking to produce anything in particular, just tweak and play, and all sorts of weird and wonderful soundscapes and textures like this will appear. Record it all to do something with later, or simply live in the moment. But so far I've been transfixed and hypnotized by it. So what is it? Well, we get two identical oscillators. These are VCOs using the 3340 chip. It's a classic that's now back in production. The original SEM chips were used in the Prophet 5, Prophet 600, Pro 1, SH101, Jupiter 6, MKS 80, the Memory Moog and Oberheims, and the list goes on. And each of these oscillators has got a filter, and this uses a 3320 filter, as used again by a similar amount of classic gear. So although you might only know Stylophone from their funky little pocket synths and all its variations, and maybe from the theremin as well, this is a step into a more pro market perhaps, where sound quality is essential. The others pack much more of a punch than their looks would have you believe, but this to me seems to be in a different league. And yet we don't have any envelopes. This is a drone synth after all, but everything can be controlled by the LFO. This isn't a standard LFO, it's an ultra LFO, and that's because it outputs two waves with a different selection of waveforms on each, some with different phases and double speed or quad speed, all controlled with the single rate knob. And these modulate the oscillators and the filters. So all in all, everything works together almost like a huge voice with interactive modulation, which helps keep everything sounding like a whole tone rather than individual oscillators and filters. And as you can see on the right, these all go through a pretty funky delay and a reverb. But it's just very clever how it's all been put together to easily create strange, big, bouncy, gnarly, ambient, nasty, wobbly, chilled, dystopian, utopian, wonderful textures, and everything in between. Before we go into the functions, I'll just show you what you get with it and what it is. It's Eurorack compatible. You can see we've got 8 screws there, so we can take that out, stick it in the Eurorack if we want. And you'll notice these little things on the side here. It comes with this little, I don't know, like connector unit, so that you can connect more than one of them together. This is part of what I think is a new CPM range. That's compact portable modular. So I think there's other units that will come out and you can link them all together with that. We also get a weird and wonderful selection of cables. Some are quite cool. I think this one's a splitter. We've got an output here is in stereo actually, but we don't get a stereo 3.5mm to stereo adapter with it. The only thing you don't get, this is quite cool, we get like an attenuator. I'll show that working in a second. But yeah, we get a fair few bits and bobs. It's battery operated if you want. You get 6 batteries with it, 6 AA's. I've got it powered here by a 12-volt supply. And it's got its own little onboard speaker on the bottom right and a headphone output. As a little bit of hardware, it's a nice little unit. Let's take a look at the oscillators then, turn it up. We've got no envelopes, obviously. And this goes down from 27 Hertz to 1.6 kilohertz. Let's get it somewhere a bit more comfortable, shall we? And then we've got a blend from a square through to a triangle to a sawtooth. Let's put on the sawtooth, and then we can blend in sub-oscillator. And that's a square, and we can have it at -2 octaves or -1 octave. So lots of nice shapes to start with. And then we can modulate the wave with the LFO. Or we can modulate the pitch. And although we don't have a little knob for it, we can modulate the pulse width. Let's put it on the pulse. There we go. And actually this is where this little cable comes in handy. So plug this into there. Then we can attenuate that. Our little slider. Both the oscillators are identical. The second one we can hard sync to 1. So let's have a listen to 2. And you can link the pictures of them, which is linked already. So when I twist this one, we're only listening to 2 at the minute. So when I'm twisting 1, 2 is changing pitch. So if I listen to them both, get a nice interval between if I can. Well, let's have that for now. So they're linked. To spend a bit more time actually tuning it, but you get the idea hopefully. Then moving down to these filters, let's listen to oscillator 1 on its own. Let's put it onto just a square. Got a drive circuit in there. You can see the shape of that triangle changing as it reaches the peak there. Well, you can hear it as well. It's flattening out a bit. So we're on low pass mode at the minute, and we've got resonance. Whoops. Put that LFO on there. Turn the resonance up a bit. Oh, that's got some depth to it, hasn't it? Rattling your windows. And then some screechy resonance to watch your ears. So we can go from really smooth to something really quite dirty, can't we? And then we've got high pass mode as well. Just take the resonance off for a second, keep it low. And away it goes, bring in the resonance. Bring it up a bit more. There we go. That's like that MS-20 thing. Oh, it's got some dirt in there, hasn't it? Oh, wow. So all sorts of grittiness if you want from that. That's lovely. And obviously we can modulate that with the LFO as well. And that neatly brings me to this Ultra LFO. As I said in the intro, we've got two different waves that we get out of this. We've got wave 1 and wave 2, and there's an output for wave 1 and wave 2 at the top, as you saw me use with the PWM. And these have got different waveforms. And you can see that the rates can be different as well. If it's got a little dotted line there, it means it's out of phase. So we've got two, turn them off for now. We've got two triangles there, and we can see triangle 2 or wave 2 is 90 degrees out of phase. Same with these. So we've got a sawtooth, a sort of sloped sawtooth triangle, which is faster. So we can see that we get different speeds on them. So I think these two over here, double speed, and then quad speed, I think. So lots of things to start playing with. I won't play anything yet just because it'll get a bit too rowdy, but we go from 0.02 hertz, which is extremely slow. So you can do lovely, lovely ambient bits and bobs with this. And then that goes up to 70 hertz, so well into audio rates. And then we send the destinations via these switches here, so we don't need patch cables for it, which is handy, so it's not covered in patch cables. Oscillator 1 can be wave 1 or 2, oscillator 2 can be 1 or 2, filter can be 1 or 2, and filter 2 can be 1 or 2. So the LFOs can modulate either of the oscillators or the filters. So let's take a listen. With number 1, we will modulate, let's modulate the filter. So we're on filter 1, yeah. All sorts of nice FM style stuff that you did hear in that intro track. And then let's have a listen to some of these different wave shapes. You can control the rate with an input from a CV, and you can reset it. So you can almost have it as an envelope with the reset. If you've got something like this, you can adjust the start point with the reset. So you get like an envelope from it if you want. So you can get it in time with things really. So wave 2. And you can hear how everything's synced up already. So let's listen to drone 2. Let's modulate that with wave 1. So as I said at the start, you get these, it sounds like a single tone, all working well with itself. I'll try not to get carried away and spend hours doing this. You can also have negative modulation. Let's modulate that wave, shall we, as well? That's lovely, isn't it? Let's add that as a sub of -2. Okay then, let's just take this tone, or what you'd call it, this patch, and let's play with the effects. We've got a delay and we've got a reverb. The reverb's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 algorithms. You can't change anything on the algorithms, they're just there. Turn them up. So you can definitely hear there, it's in stereo. But a nice selection. You don't really want to change these, really. They're sort of presets. So 8 presets, really. Chorus and hall. It's wetter than you'd normally have it, just so you can hear what's happening. Let's take that off. Now let's come to this delay. This is lovely. Let's take the repeats down. Now, you can't sync the time of the delay, but you can modulate the time with the LFO. Waves 1 or 2 again. Let's do that. Oh yeah. That's nightmarish, that, innit? Love it. Let's add some more repeats. Let's take the LFO off there for a second. And we're getting this nice feedback loops on this. So you can go to sort of space echo territory. So there you have it, the CPM DS-2, snappily titled little synth from Stylophone. It's a great little thing, and as I say, I've been playing around with this for a few days, and I just end up doing that and just getting lost in it. Lovely little thing. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please think about subscribing, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon. As you know, this channel is funded by my wonderful patrons, my affiliate links, my YouTube ads. My patrons get access to patches, samples, and all sorts of extra little goodies like tutorials. And also do take a look at my starskycar.com website, where I've got patches and samples, free stuff and stuff you can buy as well. So thanks very much for staying to the very, very end. I'm going to spend the rest of the day playing around with this.